All right, here we are. You're looking at my Top Step dashboard. That's right, flat line, zeroed out. Up here, you used your reset. So this is the longest I've been in an evaluation account where I didn't pass it. Like 30 days, well, 20 trading days technically, but basically the entire month, just grinding along. And in the end, my balance was still pretty small. So I was debating back and forth. What do I do on Friday? Do I just casino trade and pass it because I'm going to get rebuild? And if I can pass it before I get rebuild, then that saves me $200. I'm only a few $1,000s above for my starting balance. So, or do I on Friday? Maybe I can just casino trade and get closer to passing, and then let it rebuild on Sunday, and then get back in on the strategy on Monday. But that didn't really seem like appropriate as far as trying to show the pathway of a plan and strategy playing out. Because now I'm just casino trading to get more money to then go back to the plan. So that didn't really make sense to me. So I was like, you know what? I could just let this rebuild and just keep on grinding from here. Or I could just straight up casino trade it. And if I pass, I pass. And then we get back into the strategy on the funded account. So that's what I decided to do. I decided to casino trade it on Friday. And what happens when you casino trade an account? It probably blows up unless you get super lucky. And I blew it up. So there we go. So we're starting over, which other part of the equation for me was I started this with a nighttime strategy, and then, life changes, and then I'm on a daytime strategy that I just created. So a new strategy, new account, new everything, all the metrics that I get from this account will then apply to one strategy, and I'll just get to see everything working as one unless a surprise happens again. So it was cleaner all around and worth it for me to just go ahead and casino trade that account. And if I passed it, I would have banked an express funded account. And then I would have started a new combine with the new strategy so I can get through that whole thing clean. And then I would have just basically had an extra funded account when I started trading my funded accounts. Get to a little more payout quicker, and then pick up 3 more accounts instead of 4 more accounts because I would have already had that extra one banked that I casino passed. But I didn't. I blew it up instead. So here we are with the new combine. Going to go over to Top Step X. And with the new strategy, I'm trading the ES because it moves good for my strategy, which is a little bit of a continuation strategy and mixed with consolidation. So my first trade of the day is continuation. And my second trade of the day is consolidation. And it seems to be that most days that's how the ES moves. So it should work out nicely. So let's go over to the settings. Personal daily loss limit. Click on that. Come over here. Based on the strategy, I should have no problem risking $1,000 a day. Or not more, up to 1,000, but not more than. And liquidate and block. I'm only taking 1 trade a day. Unless I am successful with that trade, then I can take a second one. So if I have a loss on the first trade, I'm done. So if I have a loss on the first trade, then I'm done for the day. So liquidate and block and trailing. Because if I do win this first trade, then I can risk another 1,000 on the second trade. And if it's a loser, I want to get kicked out because I'm risking 1 to make 2. So I'll be up 2,000. If I lose 1,000, it'll automatically liquidate me and shut me down. And then I'll just take my 1,000 for the day. I'm doing that to protect me from myself because what will normally happen is I'll make the 2,000, then I'll lose 1,000. I'll see that I still have $1,000 to trade with in my account. I'll want the money back and I'll casino trade and I'll lose everything. So this is protecting me from myself. All these risk tools are here to protect me from myself. All right, so save. Personal daily profit target right now. Unsaved changes. I did save the changes. What's happening here? I don't know what's happening. All right, maybe Top Step X is broken until market opens. What time is it? Market is open. How come I can't? All right, person daily loss limit 1,000. Liquidate and block. Trailing. Save. Oh, select trailing type. That's why. Realize gains after. I don't want it to be unrealized. Realize gains. Save. All right, so now you got the little on switch over here. And then person to daily profit target is 45.10 because I'm not allowed to make more than that in the evaluation phase because of the consistency rule. Liquidate, not saying block just in case something weird happens. Save. Max trades. So the most trades I'll have in a day is 2. I'm not adding to my position, so I don't have to worry about that. With Top Step X, if I was going to add to my position, I would have to account for that in the trades because every time I hit the buy button, they consider that a trade. Or every time the sell, like I don't know, it gets funky when you're scaling in and scaling out and you're trying to do a max trade deal here. It doesn't usually work out too good for me. But I'm only taking 2 trades. First trade, winner, take the second one, and then that's it. And if the first trade's a loser, I'll be out. So the way this is going to help protect me is this. So my personal daily loss limit, if I put the right contract size in, I don't do it by where my stop is. I do it by my contract size. So if the right contract size is in and I take a loss, I should lose $1,000 or just under $1,000. If I still have $100 left and I feel like throwing that on to second trade, then, I guess it would let me do it. And 2 trades is the most I'd be able to do. So I'd only be able to do that once if I did decide to do that. But if I have that loss, I take it here. And then if I have a winner of the first trade, and then I could take a second trade because I got 2 here. And if I have a winner of that second trade and I'm like, oh, I'm hot today, I need to keep on going, I won't be able to. So that'll prevent me. Or if I'm sitting there waiting for a setup to take place and I'm like, oh, this looks good, but it's not my setup. It's just a casino trade, like subjective viewpoint, confirmation bias. I want to be in the market. I'm going to remember that I only got 2 trades and I need both of them for my strategy to play out. For the numbers to play out at the end of the month, I need to have both of these dedicated to that. So I can't take that casino trade, or I'm going to throw away the opportunity to trade something that has a proven statistical probability of success. So why would I do that? That's stupid. So that kind of helps keep me in line. So that's saved in on max trades 2. Block symbols. I'm only trading the ES. So what I could do is I can come down here now. So I'm not tempted listening to YouTube TV, YouTube, listening to Top Step TV or something like that, or just listening to the news in general. I'm not tempted. I can go MNQ, MCL. All right, so what do I got here? I got NASDAQ micros. I don't have the regular mini NASDAQ, so let's go get that. Add. All right, so NASDAQ micro, NASDAQ mini, the Dow Jones mini, oil, and then gold mini, and mini oil. Okay, so those are the only things that I would be tempted to trade. So I'm going to go ahead and save. I can't trade any of those. And then, so I got block symbols, max contracts. So max contracts, I'm not going to use this because depending on what's happening with the market conditions, depends how many contracts I need to trade. It could be helpful in my live account. I will probably use it. Once I've dialed in going through this evaluation account, I'll see a lot more happening, and in the express funded account. But this could be helpful that if I'm never really taking more than 5 contracts, because that's going to put me way over in every scenario, then I can put max contracts in here and lock it out to where I can't trade more than 5, because it's, an accidental, oops, I got 10 contracts on, there goes my account. That can happen. So this could protect me from those kind of things, but I don't know what that number is yet. So I'm going to leave that open. Personal lockout, don't need it right now. Trade clock, don't need it. And brackets, yes. Enter dollar amount. So I'm looking at $1,000 for my risk, and my profit should be $2,000. Now when I enter the trade, it'll automatically put that bracket in for me, and I should have my stop and target almost in the exact right spot. It may be a little off depending on where I get filled and stuff like that. Or if I'm really, the real risk on the trade is like 980 plus the where I get filled. So I might have to move things a little bit. All right, so I got my brackets. I got all my risk settings set up exactly how I want it to be. Now, throughout the week, will I be scaling up at all? And the answer is no. No plans to do that. I'm going through an evaluation period, not scaling up this week. So even if I'm making good money, so lockout period, the following settings will be locked out. I'm going to do it for the entire week. End of week. Lock settings. So the downside to this is if I decide I need to scale down my risk settings, I won't be able to. That's the only downside. But there's no need for that. For the trade plan doesn't call for it, so I'm good. Yes, lock me out for the week on all those things. All right, there we go. So now I'm locked out for the week. I can't do anything about it for the next 3 days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, I guess 3 days. It feels like it should be 4. 3 days, 23 hours. Okay, cool. All right, so now I can't change anything, which is, like I said, if I decide I'm losing money in my account and I want to scale down my DLL to 500, I won't be able to. So that would be kind of a nice feature. Top step is if we lock this out, we can still come into our DLL and scale it down. We could just never scale it up until the expiration. That would be kind of nice to have. Anyway, so there we go. So we're all set to go, and we'll start trading this week. I'll show you real quick what I'm doing strategy-wise. Okay, so here's my chart with my indicator in Thinkorswim. So whenever I have a switch, I'm going to start trading at 9:30 in the morning, right when the market opens. Sometimes the switch happens right away. But whenever I have a switch, I'm going to mark it up. And then I can see here I'm getting in right at the close of that, confirming the switch. My target is right here, going through there. So once it crosses through that green line right there, most of the time I can get at least that out of it, which is nice. But the main target is right here. The rest is bonus money. My stop goes right there, so I'm risking roughly 1 to make 2. As long as I capture something past this green bar, I can get to risk 1 to make 2. And then my second switch, I'm doing the opposite. So I get my switch, and then I'll mark it up. I'm expecting it to retrace. My stop will be here. My target will be through this green line here. And again, most of the time, I can get a solid 1 or more out of that. So risking 1 to make 2, and sometimes 3 or 4. But most of the time, I'll be risking 1 to make 2. So that's basically it. That's my strategy. Those are my only 2 trades. If this first one's a loser, I don't take the second one. I'm done for the day. So now what happens is I'm on my daily deal, I'm risking 1 to make 4 on the daily. So, 1 winning trade out of the entire week, and that week is profitable by doing it this way. So awesome when you can risk, where you can make more than you can lose in a day. And when you can make more than you can lose in a trade, it makes it a little bit easier, because for me, like, I take a loss and I'm like, the next day I'm like, I have to get it all back. I want to get it all back. How many times you hear out there, don't try to get it all back in one trade? Why not? Why not? If your strategy lets you, right, because you're risking 1 to make 2 or 3, I'm taking 1 trade today, it's a loser. Tomorrow I can get it all back in 1 trade and still be in the profit. I only need 1 winning trade a week to have a green week. So this is not a bad deal. Or 1 winning day where I get 4 out of it. Now, I don't always have 4. So 1 winning day where I get 4 will pretty much take care of the entire week. If I have 4 losers and I have 1 winning day, that week basically wipes out break even. But most weeks, the way it shapes up is I'll have a couple like this that are winners. I'll have some that I'll win the first one, and I'll lose here. So 2,000 gain, 1,000 loss, still take home 1,000 for the day. So my week will be mixed, but it averages out that I make 2R per day over the course of 30 days or 30 trading days, so almost 2 months, a month and a half. It works out that I average take home 2R per day doing this. And then most days I'm done by 10:30. I will trade until 11:30 if I don't have any setups, or if basically if I'm going all day, I got no setups, I'll take it. If I have a winner and it looks like something's setting up as we get close to 11 o'clock, I'll hang out and watch. But I may just cut it down most days at 10:30. But I can extend to 11 based on the numbers and still be profitable at the end of the month. So that's it. That's what I'm doing. New account, new trade window, update to the trade plan, new strategy, new everything. And then we'll hit it tomorrow. I won't be able to trade every day the next couple of weeks. I got a lot going on at night and in the morning. Insane. But I will have plenty of opportunities. And when I do, I'll trade them live. And I'll try to trade them live, I should say. And I'll also try to do my trade recap videos for those who don't want to sit through a 2-hour live video. All right, everybody. See you tomorrow.